You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hi there, Days of Our Lives fans. Well, Rafe Hernandez and his ex-girlfriend, Ava Vitali, are roommates. Once again, thanks to their kidnappers. But will these two wind up in permanent exile, or are they marked for death by the DiMeras holding them hostage? It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I want to talk about their fate since Kristen and EJ have painted themselves into a corner with these two kidnappings. And hey, if you're not following us yet, please click that subscribe button. So we have Ava in the hands of the woman in white, aka Rachel Blake, and by the end of a recent episode, Rafe wound up in the same place at Blake House. The good news is the body bag that EJ DiMera dragged out to the remote summer house was not Rafe's permanent resting place. He was only drugged, not dead, at least not yet. But what is EJ's long-term plan for Rafe Hernandez? I mean, he can't let him go, so what's the plan? That's the same predicament that Kristen DiMera is in with Ava. Now, to be fair, Rachel Black is the one who helped lure Ava into this kidnapping, but now that Kristen knows, it's her crime too. And as she told her mom, Rachel Sr., they can't just keep Ava at Blake House indefinitely. Kristen's mom said, no, we can't, but I can watch her for now until we come up with a permanent solution. And Ava was horrified because she knows what permanent means. You know, the only permanent solution is her never coming back. So while EJ is unpacking Rafe to leave him there where Jada Hunter can't find him, or anybody else for that matter, he's going to make a shocking discovery. Kristen's murderous mom, Rachel, comes back into the house, pushing Ava, tied up in her Baby Jane wheelchair, from their daily walk. And EJ is going to be stunned as heck. But if Ava thinks there's any chance that EJ will rescue her from the woman in white, she is kidding herself. As a matter of fact, when EJ sees Ava tied up to the chair, I expect him to laugh out loud because he really hates Ava. And I'm betting that EJ introduces himself nice and proper as Kristen's brother to her crazy mom, and they have a nice bonding session. Remember how Rachel Sr. told Ava that she's not had anybody to talk to in years? Well, now she gets to talk to EJ. She had the reunion with her daughter, and now she can talk to Ava and Rafe both. I mean, that should be a real treat for the woman in white. As for EJ, obviously, he's going to convince Rachel Sr. that he won't tattle to anybody, and he's going to trust her to keep an eye on Rafe as well. It's like Kristen's mama is running a little DiMera daycare center for people that they're holding against their will. At least, though, Ava will have Rafe to talk to now and to plot with, because no doubt they'll try and figure out if they can escape. Ava is going to fill Rafe in on their current predicament and who's holding them in the house and where they're at, because he's going to wake up with no idea where he is, you know? And I'm guessing Rafe's going to fill Ava in on why EJ's holding him prisoner so that his doppelganger Arnold Finnegar can run amok in Salem, pretending to be him, you know, ruining his career, his wedding day, his life. As for Ava, I'm guessing she is going to catch Rafe up on little Rachel being a psycho and luring her there so that she can be taken captive because Rachel's trying to break up Ava and Brady Black. And this is bad news for Kristen, EJ, and the woman in white, because if either Ava or Rafe gets away, they'll be able to tell the police about all the crimes and both the kidnappings that have been done. So the big question is, what's the end game? What are EJ and Kristen going to do about their hostages? When she told her mom they have to let Ava go, Rachel Sr. said, we can't do that. And then she scared Kristen by saying that, you know, her granddaughter Rachel could be taken away from Kristen and put in juvie for what she's done. So now her mom has got Kristen thinking about what's a workable, permanent solution that won't, you know, rebound on them. The most obvious one is death. The same goes for EJ's plan for Rafe. I mean, he can't just let the guy go because EJ would wind up in prison. You know, Jada would be happy to handcuff him, and his current bed buddy, Belle Black, would prosecute EJ to the extent of the law for all his crimes, kidnapping, drugging, forgery, fraud, more. If you think about it, there's really only 3 options open to Kristen and EJ so they can avoid prison for their deeds. First, Kristen can call up the family mad scientist, Dr. Rolfe, and ask for an amnesia serum. That way they can, drug the last few weeks out of Rafe and Ava's heads, fry their brains just a little, and then, drop them off somewhere random, let them wander around aimlessly until they're found, but, can't explain where they've been or what's happened or who did anything to them. That's the most humane option, honestly, short of Kristen and EJ confessing their crimes, which we all know not going to happen. And if they can't get a brain tonic to make Ava and Rafe forget, then EJ and Kristen could do the next most humane thing. They could leave them alive, but dump them off on DiMera Island. You remember how long Kristen left Sarah Horton there? And she came back not right at all, but she was also drugging her. So we know this is workable. The DiMeras have dumped people there over the years. That's an option. I mean, at least Rafe and Ava would have each other for company. If they were tossed onto the island, they could hang out. Who knows? Maybe their romance would re-spark if they were literally stuck on a deserted island without any other humans around. And then EJ and Kristen could fake some text and send them out to people that Rafe and Ava know, saying they decided to reunite and run away together. And then EJ could go ahead and get rid of Arnold too, pay him off, send him back to South America, and that'd be a great exit strategy. Get rid of all the loose ends. But realistically, the easiest thing to do is for Kristen and EJ to just murder Rafe and Ava. If there's cliffs near the creepy house, throw them off whatever major landmark is near there, smother them, bury them in the backyard of Blake House, or, move Kristen's nutty mom to Bayview, then poison Rafe and Ava, and then burn the whole house down with their bodies inside. Yes, I know, it's all morbid, but these are Stefano DiMera's kids we're talking about. They are ruthless. They are killers. They will not hesitate to protect themselves over anybody else. So let's hope that Rafe and Ava make an escape together before Rachel Sr. talks EJ and Kristen into a more permanent option that turns out to be a dirt nap for both of them. Let's hope it's the island or an amnesia serum. That's the next best thing if Ava and Rafe can't get away, if they can't escape, get themselves out of the bind they're in now, because things are looking really bad.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.